जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम 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 जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। जय राम, जय जय राम ओम। श्री राम 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 जय राम,
जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम 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 जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय 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 राम ओम श्री राम जय राम 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 जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय 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 राम ओम श्री राम जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय 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 जय श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम ओम Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om. Hari Om to everybody.
Hari Om, Pranam Swamiji.
Hari Om, Hari Om. Pranam, Pranam, Pranam. Yes, what is to be shared?
About TKS, about Appa, TKS. Ramdas Mama.
Oh.
About Ramdas Mama.
Many of you might know the TKS, endearingly called by devotees as Ramdas Mama, was called by beloved Papa at one day for yesterday morning. And when we think of him, what is it that the Lord of the universe wanted us to observe through that form? Many characteristics that endears one to everyone. It was conspicuous in his life. The one that stands out first is that he was able to maintain a sense of equanimity in all circumstances. We all remember when during our year-end program, so many devotees inform us of their proposed arrival. And as we keep on compiling the list, we know that we cannot be guided by the names, because many of them, when they come to their reception, they will be elderly people. What we would have allotted is a room in the upstairs, So naturally there will be a great pressure on the person who arranges all these accommodation. And it is not that one group will come now after some time, and at times all these groups may come at one particular time. Everything has to be handled in a loving way. Only TKS can handle, we know that. He has got a way of convincing them, though he may be strict at that time, on some time, yeah, but it will be conveyed in such a manner that they accept it. In many trying situations, he made us to witness how is it possible. If we remember right, after the retirement, he chose to have one type of dress only. Whether he goes here, there, anywhere. A discipline which he does not say to anybody, nor does he advertise, but in a silent way, he was sticking on to his own. a person of very few personal needs. When God touched and kindled in him the power to diagnose certain diseases through dowsing, he never shirked. But he will not voluntarily go and do that. We used to keenly observe. When we request him, he will immediately do that. And suppose the medicine is not there, it is not that he will simply say that this medicine you should take. He himself will go prepare the medicine and then give to them. There will be a touch of love, touch of perfection, touch of dedication in whatever he did, all in a silent way. He has had a wonderful background of Sanskrit. He had learned so many, so whenever we come across, because we have not learned Sanskrit, we have learned some shlokas or something through Malayalam. So whenever in doubt, we used to refer to TKs only. In the shortest possible time, he would be able to locate that particular shloka or mantra and then give us a brief explanation about it. We all vividly remember last year during this time, February, March, we spent about 2-3 weeks in Calcutta, where we took up this Bhagavad Gita study. 700 slokas we went through. Every day, religiously after the morning breakfast, all the family members will join together and sit and go through shloka by shloka. So whenever we come across any shloka which cannot be understood by us, by a formal reading, then he will be sitting there and he will be able to immediately tell us that this particular word stands for that. He was throughout sitting. And then we used to refer to him. Anything connected with, because apart from the literary knowledge, all of us know very well that it has become a part of his life. So he will be able to authoritatively say so many things. It is not the bookish knowledge or the textual knowledge he has gained during his formative years. And the way in which he conveys also, it will not be in an assertive way. God made us to learn so many learn from his life. So many. That is why we feel, though we don't have direct knowledge, we have heard so many things, that during his, just now we happened to go through a what do you call that, message sent through WhatsApp by Vivekananda Sharma, that even in his school days, he was admired, he was a role model. So this trait has been there right from the beginning. So standing out from the rest by his exemplary qualities. We connect it as a part of our spiritual journey, not an individual to individual. Because every individual has to go, After their, as Papa says, when the stage manager says your time is up, you have to quit the scene. So as a sadhaka, as a spiritual aspirant, we look at the life of those with whom God made us to get in touch with. How does it help us to move in our spiritual journey effectively? Only during the last day, I heard him telling that I feel tired, that he was totally restless. Previously also, we had the occasion to go to the hospital or immediately after the, what do you call that, stent changing. But even then, he was all peaceful, accepting. So many things he makes us to remember, not as a person, but as a personification of all that is necessary, especially for a spiritual sadhaka. Every day after this 3:30, 4:30 session, also we used to spend till 6th or 7th. He will be there in Ramana building. Something for us to all talk and laugh. Seriousness is there where seriousness is necessary. Otherwise, always smiling, always cheerful, always inspiring. Never coming out of him any negative aspect of anybody. Through such a life, he has touched and kindled so many things in many of us. So we continue to pray to the Almighty Lord of the universe that while we remember with all our gratitude, with all our respect, with all our love, and people like TKS, may he take us forward and to ultimately bless us with the values in our day-to-day life. Hari Om. One more thing, whenever death happens, initially we view it from the individual to individual level. That is the natural reaction from us. But it gives us an occasion for all of us to think about this unwelcome guest called death, but which is inevitable. So during our relatively healthy time, sober time like this, we should also try to understand the phenomenon called death, so that when we hear about some passing away or when it happens to us, probably it might give us a better frame of mind and to quit the body cheerfully. When we are passing through stressful period, it may not be possible to remember, but during the time when we are relatively healthy, or peaceful, we should also apply our mind. How do we do that? We try to remember that out of his bountiful love towards us, he gave us an opportunity. Why he gave us an opportunity as a human being? Because the birth of a human being is the gateway for liberation. Through a human being alone, we will come to know that He is there within us. So first of all, we pray and thank Him. Not only that you gave us a human birth, you made us to get in touch with Mahatmas and Shastras, through which we learned that this life is given to us to liberate us from the toils of individualism, the me and mine. And then, as suggested by Papa, when we try to go to our source, he makes us to get in touch with the various teachings of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Then he makes us aware that it is he who has initiated the whole process in us, in every one of us. And he has been providing everything right from the starting point till this moment. So we keep on telling, whenever you want, you give me that frame of mind where I always am at peace, totally contented. Never there should be any wanting, nothing to achieve, nothing to gain, nothing to add that will make us happy, because you have given us everything. Kindly bless us to continue this, to sustain this. And that word of Papa, which always, comes back to us, when the stage manager says that your time is up, you have to quit. So we all, not that we have to tom-tom, people may think that will be a demotivating factor, certainly not. Till he allows us to be in this body, mind, intellect, equipment, we will try to discharge whatever he prompts us from within, with all types of dedication. But at the same time, we should know that a day will come when we have to quit. Those who are in the profession, they might know, we don't know now. From our own experience, when we tendered our resignation letter, and then till the last day, we will be totally involved in all the activities as before, until the last moment of our working time. Similarly, we are praying to him. Until you give us the call, you make us aware of this, so that whatever activities you make us to function now, let the same spirit be there till the last moment. So that grumbling, complaint, inadequacy, insufficiency, discontentment, all these things will not be there. So during these healthy times, suppose we try to create, it will not be a shock. When you hear about somebody losing, somebody dropping their body, and when it comes to ours also, we should be ready. And in our case, Papa is placing before us a variety of revelations of great masters who have expounded this subject and made us to think about it. And in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, many. What is death? What is birth? What should be our attitude while quitting? In sloga-wise, so many things you would have heard. Antakaleja mameva smaran mukta kaleva. All those things are there. But I should prepare myself enough. If I may be praying, I may be doing Ram Nam, but if I have not developed the needed frame of mind, I will not be able to come out of the clutches. In Papa's word, the toils of individualism. It's a beautiful word coined by Papa. Individualism, the conceptual presence in which we have unknowingly brought ourselves out of it. So whenever possible during our days, we try to detach even for a second or two. Yes. One more aspect. Papa was telling us, when somebody asked what is his will now, so he immediately said his will now is that he will get up and go to the carpenter's shed, come back after seeing them, come back to the Panchavati, sit there and wait for the meal. It opens up. That means whatever we do, it is coming from him. So this fact we don't know. All these years we have been told, or we have been under the impression that we are planning, we are doing, we are executing everything. So as a spiritual aspirant, through chanting of Ram Nam, asked to remind every moment of our life that he is making the mind to think, he is making the mouth to utter these words, he is making the body to do this. Every moment of our life is governed by his will. If we try, to some extent at least, out of the 16, 17 hours of the waking time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, that means out of the 1,000 minutes, if we can set apart 10 minutes, 15 minutes, though not in one go, whenever is possible, that it is his will that is working in me, then probably the impact of word death will reduce its, or will we feel it is lighter. It is his will that it has to happen. Though at a sentimental level, emotional level, there may be a slight disturbance, no doubt about it. It should be there because we are all human beings. We have got a mind, we have got a heart, which is not a stony one. It's not a stony heart where it is irresponsive or insensitive to what is going on in and around. Naturally, we will feel grief, shock for a moment, but in the shortest possible time. We try to accept that it is his will. His time has come, he has taken them. My time, I am waiting. So this is another method by which we will be able to take everything lightly. So all of us, this method we should try right from now. How to become aware of, able to get the answer. No, it is his will that you should go through this. So of all the methods, probably the best method would be to somehow train our mind to accept the truth that everything is happening only by his will. Very difficult, very difficult. So at least we will make a beginning, once, twice, thrice, in a day. That is the one by which we are setting ourselves on the process of becoming aware of his presence, which is the end and aim of all our spiritual life. Our end and aim of all spiritual life is that even these very words, even this lifting of the hand, it is coming because he wills. Whether I recognize, it is that truth. Papa wants us to reach that stage. We can bring it under so many captions like surrender, world play, so many things. But the truth is that those who have scaled the heights have declared, and in our case, Papa, whatever is happening only by His will, and whatever is happening only for our ultimate good. His will alone prevails. You remember in the year-end program, he gave us the power behind everything is the same. The witness consciousness in us is witnessing all the activities. The intelligence is coming out in all forms. And finally he says that power is called, that power, the life force, the awareness, the intelligence, it is called God. And the last line is very important. His will alone triumphs. He has been giving all these, but to what extent we have assimilated, gone deep into it, made it a part of us, only that person will know. So every now and then when we come across incidents like this, losing somebody who is very close to us, who has inspired our life, this is the tangible gain for all of us. They touch and kindle and put us on the rails, so that our journey towards our ultimate of becoming aware of His presence within, it gets hastened, gets speeded up. So death means so many aspects are there. Not a thing to, in talks on Gita, he elaborately talks about this death aspect. In 1930s, when he was a prisoner under the Indian individual satyagraha campaign, and when he was in the jail, when his co-prisoners requested him to share some thoughts, somehow he was prompted to share, chapter by chapter, not shloka by shloka, the quintessence of each chapter as he looks at it. God, even if you and I take up, our approach to Gita may be different. That is why so many commentaries, Otherwise, one commentary is enough. Papa used to say, all commentaries are valid, but at the same time, nothing is full. If it is full, only one commentary, So in Vinobaji's case, he went through the whole thing, and each chapter gives him something that is related to our daily life. It is not a tall talk or say something which is related to an imaginary world, utopian. No. Everything is related to our day-to-day, workaday life. And there he explains elaborately about death. Though he makes a brief mention in 2nd chapter, he takes it up in 7th or 8th chapter. Exhaustive. There he wants us that we have to keep on thinking about death during your lifetime. Never think that it will be a disincentive or demotivating. No. It is a wrong impression. We will become more alert. What has to be delivered now and here. At the same time, somewhere in the corner of the mind we know we also have a day. And common sense says, since we have no say in our date of birth, the one who is there in all of us now, the me and mine, it has no say in our date of death, date of birth. So how can we expect it should have a say in date of death? Common sense. In other words, this life was not actuated by us. So the power which gave us this life has equally the power to withdraw it. No? It has been beautifully brought out. First time when we started reading it, we thought why he should give so much of importance for death. Then only we came to know that that is something in good old days, when we talk about death, the elders should say, don't say that. It is apashagunam, inauspicious and all those things. Unknowingly they were. But at the same time, we were witnessing deaths in our life, many, many, many. Then slowly it dawns on us, yes, death is happening everywhere. Death is happening every day. To some we are connected, to some we are not connected, that's all. Suppose we happen to get a job in the crematorium or in the, burial ground. To him, every day he will be seeing, We were told in some places in India, where even when we take the dead body, we have to wait. Day for yesterday, somebody was telling. 2 were in the pipeline, then they have to wait. And so that means the person who is handling, suppose he has got this background, he doesn't need anybody to tell that death is a almost everyday affair. We are not doing it because it's not probably an everyday affair. But suppose we go and watch, as a matter of curiosity, suppose we try to watch one full day in any crematorium. Then we come to know that not a day passes without a death. So death is a common phenomenon. We slowly try to recognize. And then we try to understand, every day there is birth going on, every day there is death going on. So how do I relate myself to this? Since I don't have any clue, 99%, few people get some premonition about their death. God wills. But by and large, people don't get any idea. So that is why when Papa was asked that we should be able to lead a life without much planning and everything, then somebody came and asked, to come to Ashram, we have to book the ticket, we have to plan. So then Papa said, okay, you can plan, but just put a comma and say, subject to his will. So anything we can say, adding a comma, and say that subject to his will. Because you don't know when you get the orders to get up and go. Every moment, if that is there, we don't say it should be active in our mind, but it should be there in a dormant stage in our mind. So that, we will be able to accept everything. For a second, we may be having a shock, but the shortest possible time, we will be able to pull us up. And also to know that the day will come to us also. So with that background, suppose we go through Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Chapter number 2, chapter number 7 or 8. If you go through that, then elaborately it has been discussed. Elaborately. So whenever our mind is receptive, suppose we take it up and study and at least a few slokas, and then close the book and connect it with the life so far we have lived, the life so far we have, where we have witnessed so many people quitting one by one. That is why when somebody was able to draft out this particular sloka, that anayasena maranam. Now that I know that maranam, death is inevitable, kindly make it painless. You have given us the freedom to pray to you. With that freedom, we are praying to you now. Your will only prevails. But you gave us a freedom to pray to you. Anayasena maranam. Let it be there as a part of our daily prayer. And always try to feel, whenever the body pain is too much, it may not be easily possible for all of us to remember these words. So during our healthy time, suppose we try to pump in and all these ideas and get it memorized, stored. Probably, of course, subject to his will, we may be blessed to have this. Though we may get pain, the endurance level will definitely go up. Suppose we practice during our ordinary days a little bit of detachment. Papa says, you have a body. Always think you have a body. You are not the body. These are all theories, agreed. But with these two words, suppose we close our eyes, we try for a second or for a minute, we might be able to detach ourselves from the body. And suppose it gets habituated every now and then. And when the exact, the challenge comes, it might serve to some extent. Even though the pain may be there, the mental state, inside. So this is one of the messages. So for that, we will now try to train our mind two ways. One thing to remember about this as much as possible, the inevitability, the uncertainty of this phenomenon called death, unpredictability also. And at the same time, Papa's oft-repeated suggestion to remember him. His will, his will, his will. So every day, at least let us try 5 minutes, 10 minutes, in between some activities. Oh, this is also his will. Now these thoughts he made us to share. Next moment we don't know what is going to be shared, no? So then we watch how the words are coming, how the prompting works. All these things can simultaneously go. Suppose we are reading something, suddenly for a pause, pause button everybody knows now. In all our mobile, computer, tablet, what is this called? Laptop. Pause moments are there. We can try. So we will also have this pause button. And then try to think about this. Your will. You made me to know your will. Yes. So what is my will? To ask you what is my will. No? Now and here, now and here, now and here. 1 or 2 at least we can. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 5 seconds, we might be able to understand his will. Again we may forget. Again we will try. Again we will fail. So that we are auto-suggestion, we are trying to hammer on this truth on that everything is happening only by his will. It will not only help us to accept things as they are during our family life, professional life and social life, but ultimately when the time has come to quit also we will be able to. Many devotees, when they are seriously sick due to terminal disease, they used to pray. They used to tell us, please pray for Papa's blessings to relieve us from this. No? Nothing else we need. It's a great, great achievement, I must be relieved of this suffering. So that means when we start accepting every situation as ordained by Him, the impact will be less and less and less. We won't say there won't be any pain. It will be there. Pain will be there. It will be unbearable. Everything will be there. But somewhere in the corner of the mind, if we try to develop it during our past moments, it will have some cushioning effect. So in these two ways we will try, right from this moment, how to realize His will working through us. Now and here. Last 3 days back, we were reading that adorable presence, you remember? Where Swamiji Maharaj, Omkarji Maharaj says, I only want this now and here. I don't want anything. This is all that I ask of thee. That I should know that you are working through my heart, through my mind, through my eyes, through my eye of the eye, ear of the ear, heart of the heart, mind of the mind, breath of our breath, soul of our souls. Blessed dear God, to be aware of thy presence now and here. No? We are reading it every day. Now we are trying to make it a reality in our life. You are making me to see, you are making me to hear, you are making me to think. Everything has been covered there in that prayer. So whenever we fail or forget, we just go through that words again and again. Try. Probably that may be instrumental in placing ourselves on the rails which will take us to the awareness. He is behind. Papa said the other day, 14th January, he said the transform your eye should be transformed into the universal eye guard. How will it happen? Only when we accept that everything is happening only by His will. Until such time, my eye will be predominant. So what Papa wants is your eye, the sense of individuality, should be transformed, not that it should be destroyed. It gains a new role. Previously, it was thinking it was the Almighty. It is the deciding factor. He is the enjoyer, sufferer, everything, planner, executor. Now when we transform, what happens? The sense of individuality becomes a chela, an instrument. Continuing in sense of individuality, continuing in the same status as in sense of individuality. But we know now that we owe everything. We draw the necessary strength and courage from that power, which makes us to feel I am. Previously, I was not aware. So I start from me only. Whatever concept I have, I start from that only. Yes?
Some sound came. Nobody's coming.
So instead of starting from me and mine, we have been asked by Papa to put us on this process of transformation. No outward changes. Somehow we try, in whatever manner. All our shlokas are helping us only for that. Anyatha sharanam nasti tvameva sharanam mama. Tasmat karunya bhavena raksha maheshwara maheshwari loka samastasya. Anyatha sharanam nasti. I have no other place to go. Tvameva sharanam. Only you are there. Now when we repeat, we are trying to remember that. Otherwise it was just we were repeating. All our Shanti mantras convey this idea only. your will prevails. So let us try to remember all these things, whichever mantra or whichever teachings reveal us clearly, we will hold on to it. Papa's this one word, your I should be transformed into the universal I God. It is not a dictum or a dogma imposed on us. Papa made us to know that logically, rationally, it is correct. Right from the seed level up to this level. All that we need is to hammer this truth to us. We were not aware of this. We were not, even if we were told, we were not able to understand. Unless finally he took us to the spiritual preceptor, and where he slowly started making us aware. Even then we were not aware. But he waited patiently and then slowly made us to understand the purpose of our life and what all we have been blessed with. That is the first tangible gain. Then we come to know every moment of our life is a gift of him. But we are unaware. So Papa wants us, your I should be transformed into the universal I God. Through all the 5 elements. Only because of that only we are sustained. All that is given through our mother nature. All that is given us through the scientists, the society, through discovery, invention, innovation. Everything, not a single thing can we claim that this is mine. And everybody has given it for everybody. We were just mentioning to our friends. Today we had idli for our breakfast. When there was no idli in the world, he made somebody to think about idli, That is why we are all enjoying. We don't know the person who authored it, who brought it into being. It is universal. The moment it is discovered or invented or innovated, it becomes available to everybody. Just like air is available to everybody, water is available to everybody, earth is available to everybody, sun is available to everybody, space is available to everybody. So universal I means that. It is not set apart, only this, you can do it. Or nobody said this is only for me and my family. So when everything we are enjoying, when we travel to an automobile, we don't know the first automobile, Anything, language. So we try to understand it, not hearing it. Try to understand this and then assimilate it, so that we try to become aware of what all he has been giving right from day one. And if he has been giving everything, is it not happening because of his will only? Is he waiting for me to ask? Including the freedom to deny him, to know him, to realize him, he has given. We are all struggling because at the impressionable age we did not get this idea. And by the time we got this idea, we heard this idea, our me and mine has become a very powerful entity in us, which will not easily accept. Though intellectually it will accept, it will not experientially accept. So let us try to go through all these again and again and again and again. Somehow to accept that his will. And don't think it is the only risk is, when you say his will, we are trying to separate his will from the action. Suppose I go to office, a problem is, challenge is given to us. When I handle it, how will I remember? That means I will not be able to remember, we may say so. Because we treat this will as separate something from our very activity. The very activity, the very thought, the very response that wells up in our mind is his will. So during that particular moment, we may not be able to bring it at the grosser level. But if we train it during our past moments, it will be there at the subtle level, even when we are not aware of it at the grosser level. When Puja Mataji was taking into task people who were not raising up their level, pettiness or something like that, and when Puja Swamiji or somebody asked, why are you unnecessarily, when you know that everything is happening by his will, why should, then immediately she would say, no, who is now making me to talk and to whom? So in the play it is all necessary. So at the subtle level, always it is there. At the gross level, it may look as a reaction or response from person to person or person to object or person to situations. So not only that we should keep on hammering that his will alone prevails, we should know the working of that will. No? That is very important. The functioning of that will through our life. For that we need a lot of, what do you call, manana. It's a very, very important subject, very, very important subject. So let us all try to dwell more and more of it. It is high time for all of us. We don't know how many days here he is going to give to us. How much time he has allotted for us. But with the freedom he has given, with the prompting he has given now, we are praying to him. Kindly set us on the process as early as possible. I may not be fit enough to do that. Kindly enable me to do that, please. That to accept that everything is happening only by your will, and also the needed technology or methodology by which I become aware of it. Not the way in which normally when we say, we get an order from somebody and then we act. No, it is not like that. It is absolutely not like that. There the otherness is there, somebody giving the order and somebody executing it. With that background, suppose we start looking at this will, we may not be able to reach anywhere. So there should be, we should also try to understand the mechanism embedded in this will. The will becoming a will, how does it become a will? So we have to keep on trying. Then it will come to us. Though not in one go, in so many goes. Let us all try. He has prompted us this much on this subject, very vital subject in our journey. We are deeply, deeply, deeply grateful to him. So now the only prayer is, kindly put us on the process with all earnestness. And Ramnam is the prop, support, avalambanam, by which we will be able to do that. So we can slowly try to...
Are we not already in the process? Are we not already in the
Only one other person will know.
But he has to make us aware.
If our interests are on the ephemerals, we can say that we are not on the process. If we are setting apart a considerable time of our waking state in pursuing the reality, then we can console ourselves that we have set ourselves on the process. Only that person will know the priorities, preferences, how we are easily carried away by the by what is happening at the surface level. So when we are making a mention about TKS, yeah, this is answered. Why he was able to keep up the sense of equanimity, equipoise. He must be always enjoying this, this communion.
He has a question, yes.
Yeah.
We can accept that the war, the evil people are also his will.
Evil people are also his will. We have to. Evil people are also his will. We have to accept.
Everything is his will. We may not be able to
How to
understand.
accept that?
Why not let us try? Why not we first understand ourselves, what is happening? Then so many other things are there. What we name it as evil will not be an evil after some time when we see that. To put it easily understandable, the very ashram of Ananda Ashram. What was behind before 1931, May 31? At the end of 1930, if two people had not gone to the Kasargod ashram at midnight and then they tried to strangle Mataji into death, apparently it's a cruel act, evil act. But the outcome is that, we are now sitting here, no? So in his play, it is necessary. We may not be able to understand then. So Papa always says is, this word, though it is difficult for us to accept it. We always remember Puja Swamiji when he was in defense service, when he was passing through a lot of mental turmoil. One day one of his colleagues, Sam Rose, he told, somebody said, there is no disorder in the world. Everything is as it should be. So Swamiji said, I was stunned to hear. And the spontaneous reaction of Swamiji was, as he told us, it can be told only by two people. One, a madman can say that. Another is a person who is above our level. Ordinarily, our reaction will be, it is full of disorder, chaos, exploitation, all that we know in the negative dictionary. But then we try to understand. Then later on he came to know, these are Papa's words, there is no disorder in the world. Everything is as it should be. So unless we reach that stage, we may not be able to accept it. Nor are we expected to accept it. We react. That is the process through which we will be able to know. Every act, in retrospect, when we try to make, we will know the relevance of that particular person's behavior. That is why, as we keep on moving in the spiritual, we will be free from all prejudices. We may be acting, but free from prejudices, biased notions. That we will be totally free because he is guided by that power to work out his plan through him. That we keep on hammering. Whenever we come that the individual is not behaving in the way in which he should behave, then we try to remember this.
Swamiji, as such, everything is done by his power. If I am aware, it makes a difference.
When you become aware that everything is happening only by his will, then that is the final meat. Nothing for us. Sit up, oh. Stand, oh. Question, oh. Answer, no. Cry, weep, smile, everything, They have, Mataji was also shouting, Everything they behave exactly like this. All of us are doing it. But the acting, when they shout or when they find fault, it is not like our finding fault. Ours are with biased notions. They are with like a mother correcting her child, words. We don't, even if somebody says something, suppose we love them, when we know he or she loves us, we will not have any biased view. So it is something on which we have to keep on going inside. The will means a wonderful word. You should be, your I should be transformed into the universal I. You write somewhere and doing it. Relate yourself to your life so far lived. Try to understand the meaning not through literally, through the experiences he has given to you. It was not a smooth one. It was not a hard one. Everywhere. Yeah, from morning till evening. At times we smile, we feel we have lost, we feel we have gained. Some new news, another news comes, we are happy. Another news comes, we are sad. Oh, it goes on like this, Then I slowly detach myself. I'm seeing this every day. Then I watch myself. Right from my young age, when I started knowing about me as me, what all changes have taken place. Though initially it was difficult for me to accept, have I not accepted? Who gave that power to accept? That is why Papa always uses the word, in spiritual journey one has to go within. Inward journey is a must. During his sadhana days, every now and then he used to take to solitude. And for our sake, he has also given it out, in the form of outpourings in the cave, and in the next book, at the feet of God. So that means, the process of going within, the process of setting ourselves in that is through inward journey only, not from any other external prop. Everything. So every now and then pause. That is why Swamiji used to say, nobody could understand. Puja Swamiji also used to say, when Vivekananda Mama came and he sat with Swamiji, we were all there. Swamiji, how are you in a position to keep this equanimity, even under provocative circumstances? So he smiled. Don't smile and keep quiet. Tell us something, we also want to learn. Then she smiled and said, don't react immediately. So there will be some occasion when we have to react. Okay, chant 3 times or 11 times Ram Nam and then react. So that there is the train of thought is changed. You get back the balance and then react. Otherwise, impulsively we react and become not only a problem for us, problem for others also. So these are some of the clues they have given, not by a textual reading. It is something they have developed it, by regular practice. And it is tangible, they have demonstrated it.
I think calmness is inborn nature, I think. Like for TK's Mama.
Many are there. Many people have become calm also. In his case, it might be right from in his previous birth, he must have been practicing this and God blessed him with that. Yes, from the person who now wrote to us, even during his school days, he was very calm, quiet, very loving for everybody. Our weakness is we see him as an individual, so it will not have any impact in us. We try to see him through that individual and who is within us also. Then we pray to him, why don't you please reveal that to me? You reveal it through that particular one. Then he will ask us some conditions then this dialogue should be there. Normally what happens is when we see a person who is having noble qualities, We appreciate, we know, we do mean that. No, we also feel thrilled, but it is not. It is only momentary, no, because we are treating from the individual to individual. But suppose we try to see the indwelling reality behind it, then it becomes always stay with us. The person with whom we were serving, he was a highly spiritually evolved soul, I should say. In Malayalam, he used to say, when somebody says, he's a great man, he's a great man. അവർ നല്ലവരാണ് ഇവർ നല്ലവരാണ് പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് എന്താ കാര്യം സ്വാമി, അവനോ നന്നാവണ്ടേ. You say he is great, okay, it's all right. So what? Unless you become great. In a simple form, he used to say that. If somebody says something about him, praising or something, he will coolly hear, then finally he will say, bluntly he will say, so what? They don't need our certificate. So God has placed us in touch with them to evolve, to emulate something from them. And how far we can integrate it in our life. I may fail, 100 times I may fail, but I can still try, That is why God has made me to get in touch with Him. There is a purpose. More of it on day after tomorrow. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om